Hello! I have been meaning to do this review for ages and I'm finally getting around to it. So in today's video I am going to be looking at all 100 Caran Luminance pencils. We have the original set of 76 plus 2 blenders and the extra 20 portrait assortment pencils plus another 4 that came with this set but not in the box. So weird. I don't know why they didn't have a box of 24. So because this box only holds 20 of the 24 pencils, I actually emptied it and I'm not currently using this box. Instead, I put my portrait pencils in this one, which is for 40 Luminance pencils. I got this box for free at the art shop because they put out singles from the sets and they just give away the boxes and tins, which is really awesome. So I picked this one up and I have the portrait set in here. This comes with 2 trays. As you can see, it's not completely full. I've got a tiny little white one here and I think this is a spare black. This is all 20 of the portrait set plus the extra 4, although I've put them into colour order, so the extra 4 were just random ones out of the set. I have a video just looking exclusively at the portrait set, so I'll link that up there and you can check that out if you just want to look at those ones. Otherwise, I'm just going to do everything today. So I also have a pencil blender that I think the art shop gave me for free. I think it was a free sample or something that they had and they just were giving them out. There is a second one of these which isn't broken. I don't know where it is at the moment. It might be in the other set. I will see if I can find it. So that's what I've got in this set. As you can see, the pencils are quite well used. These are not brand new. I've had my Caran Luminance pencils for a few years and this one since last year. And I have used them a bit, but I'm not going to go out and buy brand new ones because they're stupidly expensive, as I'm sure you all know. They come in a cardboard box, which is kind of unusual because most coloured pencils tend to come in a tin. But there are some really good things about this cardboard box. It's a very thick and solid cardboard. On the inside of the lid, it's got this really nice bit of foam, so the pencils are protected from the lid as well. And here, we have 3 layers of pencils, or 3 tiers. They come in these really nice trays that all have this really great foam lining and the pencils fit in there perfectly. Now these trays are far more stable than the plastic ones which usually come inside the metal tins of other brands, and they don't bend the way that some of those plastic ones have done, because I've picked them out and accidentally, warped it and then all the pencils will just fall out. So these are much more secure. They also have these little velvet tags on them so you can pull them out more easily, and the bottom one is embedded into the box itself. And there's the other unused blender, so I did have both of them. Now I think I have an extra pencil and I don't know which one it is. I'm really hoping I can figure that out as this video goes on. So I'll pull one out and we can take a closer look at it. They are a fairly nude looking wood, and you can see that there are differences in the colour of wood between pencils, which I quite like. They are actually really similar to the Lightfast pencils. I'll grab one just so we can compare. So here's a Lightfast pencil. As you can see, they look very similar to one another. The Derwent have their classic stripe on there, and the writing is a bit darker. The Caran ones are a silver writing and they can be quite hard to see sometimes. In certain lights, it's just very hard to see the name because the name is up here and it is in, I think, French and English. Light malachite green. Oh dear. It is so hard to show these labels because they keep reflecting and it's not easy to see them. So that is maybe one of their disadvantages, is that the labelling on the pencils is a bit hard to read. Otherwise, they are a very nice sturdy pencil. They have a pretty thick core. They have their Lightfast information on their website. I don't think they're on the pencils at all. But the vast majority of these pencils are considered to be Lightfast. In fact, they say it on the box that 80% of them are Lightfast 1, which is the highest level of lightfastness. Now, I don't know how accurate that is because there have been a lot of videos lately on people questioning the Lightfast ratings of all sorts of products, so the only way you would ever know is if you just coloured them all out and stuck it in a window to see if any of them fade, but I'm just going to take them for their word on this, that they are Lightfast. I really hope they are. The Caran pencils are very pigmented and they have a waxy core, unlike the Derwent Lightfast pencils, which have an oil-based core but are also quite soft as well. I think they're quite similar together, so in a future video I am actually going to combine all of these pencils with the Lightfast ones so we can see how they work together, because they are designed, according to a few people, to kind of work together, so that will be a separate video. Today I'm just going to focus on these. Okay, so I have a swatch book all ready for these. If you've seen some of my earlier videos this year, you will know that I have this big book of colour charts, and I have been dying to swatch out the Caran Luminance ones. There are all 100 of them in this book, which is really fantastic. As you can see, some of them are in italics, and these are the portrait pencils, so I'm going to have to pick them out from both boxes as I go, which is going to be really fun. But let's see all of the colours together and how they look. Well, my pencils were nowhere near in the order that the book had them, so it took me ages to sort them out, and I ended up picking out all of the pencils for one line at a time. But you can see that some of them have 30%, 60%, 10%, and that makes it very confusing. But thankfully it's only for the earth colours and not for every single colour in this set. It started off with the white and then moved into the greys, with other earthy browns following that. And then in the third line we'll see the much brighter colours. But the Luminance sets have a lot of earth colours, which is really great for drawing portraits, animals, landscapes that have earth colours in them, and they are very useful for that. I found that the pencils from the portrait set added more variety to some areas, in particular the brown tones. So I found it easier here to go in with the portrait colours first, and then I went back with the pencils from the original set. But there's a lot of lovely reddish browns in this one, and I think those are really useful colours. I do use them all of the time. I've noticed with some of the lighter colours, such as the light flesh 10%, the burnt ochre 10%, there is a lot of white in them, and they are very opaque, much more than the darker colours, which I think are usually single pigments. I'm guessing on that. I don't really know what the pigments are, but you can see now going into the reds just how bright and vibrant a lot of the Caran pencils are. I really like their selection of reds that they have. I think they're very pretty. Especially the Scarlet, which is one of my most favourite pencils ever. I also really like the apricot colour, and then going into some of those yellows. It's weird that the bismuth yellow at the bottom is not further up next to maybe the golden bismuth yellow. That is strange to me, but whatever. There is some logic to these swatches, although a few of the colours just feel like they're a bit out of place, and if I was to do it, I would change quite a few of these around. I also really like the greens, though they are just a bit limited in the range, but there is a really nice selection of blues and turquoises, especially the light blues. So we'll see a few more blues in a minute, but coming over this side again, the portrait set added in quite a few pinky colours, which I think are really fantastic, and I love the warmer pinks, which complement nicely with the magentas and the purples that are on the cooler side. And here we are back at the blues, just finishing off that row. There are a lot of pale blues, but then finally they've added in some darker blues, and that indigo is almost black. It's really dark and a great addition from the portrait set. And here they all are swatched out, and I found that extra pencil. It is a Naples ochre, and I've got two of them. I don't know why. I must have bought a second one thinking that I was going to run out of the other. I don't know, but I'm just going to put this in my spare box here, over with these ones, so I know that that's a spare. Taking a look at this swatch sheet, this line reads down as does this one. I think that the addition of all of these portrait colours is really great, and it fills up a few holes that the original set had. In particular, some of these blues. I'm really amazed that the original set did not have an ultramarine, and so I'm so happy they've actually added one. Also, I love the Eden Throne and the dark indigo. I think those three work really well together, and it's really great having some extra deep blues, because the darkest blue before that was the Prussian, and it's nowhere near as dark as these ones down here, so I think that is a fantastic addition. They have some pretty great earth tones and greys in here, both the warms and the cools. There are a lot of bright colours, and there are quite a lot of greens and blues now, and also a few purples and pinks, which I really like. So overall, now I think it's a really complete set, and they just look really good together. But of course, it's really hard to tell on swatches just how they're going to perform. I'm going to do a whole artwork. I decided to try the Luminance pencils on Derwent Lightfast paper, which is a hot press cotton paper, extremely expensive, but I've been really curious to see if the Luminance pencils would work as well on it as the Lightfast pencils do. I have other videos reviewing the paper and things like that, but just really quickly, it is amazing paper. I love it so much. It is gorgeous for coloured pencils, so if you can get your hands on some, it is worth the money. But going back to the Luminance pencils, I found this picture of butterflies and it has quite a different coloured background, so I was trying to use as many of the colours as I could, at least from the bright colour range. I also used some Gamsol odorless mineral spirits to blend the pencils out, and it works really well with the Luminance pencils, so no problems there. I am going to do another artwork using more of the earthy colours. That's in my next video, so don't forget to subscribe to see that one. But I really like the Caran Luminance pencils. They are wax based, as I mentioned before, which is the same as Prismacolor Premiers, but these ones are not quite as soft, and they have a slightly drier consistency. It's hard to explain, but they are a little bit different to the Prismacolors. It's just preference as to which ones you prefer. I really love using the Prismacolors, by the way. I think they're really great, especially for colouring pages, but I also really like the Luminance pencils more for doing drawings, and they are for the most part very smooth to use, though there are a couple of colours which are a little rougher, and one of them is the Castle Earth. It's like a really deep earthy colour and it feels kind of gritty. I think it's actually the pigment more than the pencil being recalcitrant, but I don't know. Anyone else who uses these, is your Castle Earth gritty or do you have a smooth one? Let me know, because I'm really curious to know if I just have a slightly dodgy pencil. I went in with the purpley pinky colours for the flower, and then I tried to add some blurry purple flowers in the background. They didn't work out very well, and I'm a little bit annoyed by that, but the rest of the background I think looks okay. It's just those purple blobs do not do it any favours. All done, and in case you're wondering what the white pen is that I used, it's a Uni Paint marker, extra fine, and it's an oil base, so it will sit over the top of the pencils. At least I hope so, and not rub off. So I hope you enjoyed this video looking at all of the colours by Caran Luminance and seeing how they work in a drawing. They work really well on the Lightfast paper, almost as well as the Lightfast pencils work on the Lightfast paper, so yeah, excellent paper for using with either brand of pencil. And I really love these Caran pencils. They're very expensive, but they are really nice, and they do have a wonderful array of colours. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel, and click that subscribe button with the notification bell so you can check out all of my upcoming videos, because I still have plenty more to do. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all again really soon. Swatch you later. Bye!